This is the mushroom shop, and this is the owner, Tyler Akabani.
I'd say this is your typical cap and stem mushroom, porcini mushroom. This one is really seasonal. We usually only have it for a couple weeks at a time.
Not only is Tyler a fun guy, but he's also a fungi enthusiast.
The mushroom shop is a shop that sells mushrooms and other specialty foods or maybe unusual foods. We have a handful of Asian ingredients. But I really want to say the store here exists because of excitement for wild mushrooms, picking mushrooms, and seasonal foods.
This place is a mushroom maniac's dream come true with edible mushrooms from both near and far.
I would say this is like one of the most loved mushrooms also. This is a European chanterelle right now. In like a month or so, we'll have one that comes from Saskatchewan in Canada. And those are my all-time favorite.
There are so many cool different types of mushrooms, but I won't spore you with the details.
This is beach mushroom or shimeji. This is a cultivated mushroom. It's one we have all the time. Think of this as a nice pickler. They're very firm, like almost like a shrimp texture to them. They hold up really well when they're cooked. They
The
look
thing
nice,
is, like
too.
a part of my animal brain looks at that and it says like, stay away.
Poison.
Right?
Is it your animal brain or is it the part of your brain that was impressed upon you by your
Propaganda,
parents?
anti-mushroom
could be,
propaganda.
Because if you grew up in Italy or something like that, people would be like, oh, it's a great mushroom, you pick it in the fall time. Maybe not this one exactly, but similar types of mushrooms.
Tyler is also a big advocate for people foraging for their own food.
Mushrooms have such a strong association with psychedelics and food and poison, and people don't really consider anything else. And so I really think if people applied the same logic that they apply to all other things that they put in their mouth and ingest, they'll be safe. So if you don't pick up things off the street and eat them, and if you don't pick random plants and eat them, don't pick random mushrooms and eat them, you'll be fine. It is really, you want to make sure you know what you're picking, because there are some deadly poisonous mushrooms, but I think it's important to keep in mind that there are deadly poisonous chemicals on the street, there are deadly poisonous plants out there in the world, and so it's really just a matter of common sense and not eating things that you don't know what they are.
When Tyler isn't selling mushrooms, he might be hanging out with his fellow fungi fanatics.
I feel like it's a good pun. There's a good pun there somewhere, but there's definitely like an underground mushroom community that feels like it's less so underground now than ever before. I feel like mushrooms are really having a moment. There's a Boston Mycological Club. I think there's 1,500 members, so there's a lot of people. But there's something really fun about it. Meeting other people who pick mushrooms and who are into it, because in most people's friend group, I want to say, you're like maybe the one person who's into mushrooms, and maybe people know that about you. But then when you meet other people about mushrooms, you have so many things to talk about that you don't get to talk to your friends about. So yeah, it's really fun to meet other people who pick mushrooms and go out on walks and look for mushrooms.
A lot of fun guys and gals.
They are indeed.
In Somerville, I'm James Rojas. For more, ask Alexa to play WBZ News Radio on iHeartRadio.